welcome to our 2024 recap of High-End Homes Handled Right, the Real Property Management Podcast. I'm your host, Lyndel Johnson, and today I'm hoping you're having an incredible new year. It's now 2025, but on this episode, we're going to go back to 2024 and go over some of our most insightful episodes. I hope you have a great time listening, and I definitely look forward to our future podcast. During episode 2, Jerry Flowers and I discussed a significant change in how real estate commissions are handled. Before, homeowners would typically pay a 6% commission split equal between the listing agent and the buyer's agent. However, with the new rule, the seller no longer has to pay the commission to the buyer's side. Now the buyer's agent must negotiate the commission directly with the buyer. The shift is still evolving and we're learning more. Now we're going into 2025. And we're learning how this will impact future transactions.
And the 6% is 3 for the listed agent and 3 for the buyers.
Correct. But now with this new rule, that seller no longer has to pay that commission for the buyer's side. So now what happens is that agent for the buyer now has to negotiate the commission with the actual buyer. Which is something that it didn't happen before.
Supposedly, there's a couple ways they negotiate with the listing agent, and they can put it as concessions. Now, like I said, it's very fluid. We're still learning. We're still trying to understand. So, in essence, the seller is going to have to pay it anyway, but we're wondering how much that's going to affect the buyer. With repairs, you don't always, but you ask the seller, hey, give me concessions. So the buyer can do the repairs after we close, so they can find a trusted, general contractor, so they can handle those and get those repaired appropriately. But if we're negotiating all the concessions, is it going to affect the buyer? Will they have enough concessions? So those are some of the things I'm trying to find out.
Something that I'm curious about. Both you and I spent several years in the military.
21.
All right. So I did about 19.
Okay.
Almost 19, 20, almost 2 decades. So in my time in the Marine Corps, I think we earned the ability to use that VA loan.
Absolutely.
Right. So if you guys don't know, with that VA loan, it basically allows buyers to, that commission they're not required to pay a commission when you're using a VA loan. So how will this new rule affect the VA loans? Do you have an opinion on that?
It's going to be catastrophic, where you can't put, and lenders, if I say this wrong, I'm sorry. We were talking about this the other day. Can't put the concessions on there. You can't have the buyer pay the commission. So now what do we do? It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt your FHA and your VA buyers, your government-backed, funded buyers.
Ashley Pope discussed the importance of high-quality photos and videos in marketing properties. In episode 4, she highlighted that professional photography and 3D tours are essential for capturing the essence of a property and helping potential buyers visualize themselves in the living space. This not only attracts more views, but it also helps them make informed decisions.
So you have to have photos, at the very least, you have to have photos, good photography of your property. Videos are even better, or like a walkthrough 3D tour would be great, but having those professional photos done by a professional photographer who specializes in home photography, rental properties would be essential for your property. Photographers, there's tons of different types. There's lifestyle photographers, wedding photographers, more classic photographers, but then there's tons of photographers that specialize in the home industry. So hiring one that knows the business, knows how to photograph different rooms, the backyard, the front, and just really make your property stand out is going to be very important to get eyes on your property. And then video, of course. You want to try to capture the essence, I think, of your property before someone even shows up to look at it. So that way they are intrigued, they can see themselves living there, using the space. And people like to, think about your own habits before you show up somewhere. You kind of like to know what you're getting yourself into.
In episode 12, Baron Robert from Extraterrestrial Pros emphasized the importance of a thorough cleaning when preparing a property for sale or for lease. He pointed out that many homeowners underestimate the detail required of deep cleaning, often missing critical areas like blinds, vents, and window seals. Professional cleaning service can ensure the properties are thoroughly cleaned and ready for viewing.
If you really think you can do it yourself, at the end of the day, people like to save money. I'm not going to say that you can't do it yourself, but a lot of people, when they realize that it's more than what they thought it was, it's like really you get in over your head. You don't understand the actual full details of a deep cleaning.
Right.
Some people just think, I'll just sweep and just mop and that'll be just it. No, that's not it. It's the basics. And those things normally just go untouched.
Right.
The blinds, the vents, the window seals. It's the necessities that people normally miss. The corners with the cobwebs.
Right.
These are the things that people they overlook.
Okay.
And sometimes I wouldn't even say overlook. Sometimes they just don't catch it at all. With that being said, so when they do say that with me, I'll say, okay, well, do you have like a list of everything that needs to be touched, everything needs to be clean? Have you spoken to a realtor and see all the things that they look for when they come in, when they bring a person in to view the home? These are the things on the list that, people normally miss. So, if you're going to do that, at least let me recommend a list for you that you need to clean. And then once they see that list, they're like, maybe you should do it yourself.
They're like, man, this list is way too long.
It's pretty long.
During episode 13, Roger shared his inspiring journey into real estate. Starting as a superintendent, Roger was motivated by the financial potential he saw in real estate after observing an agent who sold a house fairly quickly. Despite facing significant challenges, including bankruptcy, Roger persevered and built a successful career in real estate. His story is a testament of the importance of family support, self-drive, and overcoming adversity.
Oh, well, I did go through bankruptcy. It was, I think, a $13 million bankruptcy filing. And, I went from flying private to being the guy with a $100,000 car in the driveway, looking for loose change to put gas in my car, looking for loose change in the sofa and the junk drawer to put gas in my car.
Now, were you married with kids at this time?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So how do you get through that? Is it the relationship with the family, your family? Is it friends, or is it just your self drive to get through it?
Oh no, it was during the period where I had built what is now the bell tower for a guy, and he didn't pay me, and so I, being a young stupid builder, just everything was on personal guarantee. So suddenly I found myself in deep debt because I owed a bunch of subcontractors and I owed a bunch of people that had been working for me building this project for my client, who wound up going under himself, which domino effect triggered a personal bankruptcy for me.
In episode 15, Manny Powell from Inspire Realty & Company joined us to talk about their innovative approach to real estate that includes interior design. Manny explained how their company's background in construction and commercial development naturally led to offering interior design services. With 3D models and creative visualization, they help clients see the potential in properties before even making a purchase. This unique service sets them apart and provides a valuable tool for their clients.
Yeah, it started out as a creative process. As an agent, you're walking homes and having the conversation. You're in new builds all the time, so you see what it takes to build a home from dirt to a vertical structure.
Right.
And then also having been in the commercial industry and in the development field, when it comes to, again, turning dirt into a vertical structure, you have so many nuances in between that you're in the construction piece or in the design piece. And so it was a natural evolution of the company because we had done so many projects to officially begin to, get paid in a different capacity.
Right.
But it's been a really fun creative outlet. My business partner, Lauren, has her degree in interior design. So it's so amazing to see her on the computer and to create these 3D models of what it is of the selections that, I'm helping choose. And then for us to be able to show that to the client of, I know you hate this kitchen, but look at what this kitchen could be in the 3D model before they even purchase a home.
Right.
It helps them to have an educated decision made because they know what they can do with the space. But then it also gives us that ability to service our clients in a completely different way.
Wow, that's incredible because I think there aren't a lot of people that are doing it or companies that are doing it just like you are. You are leading the trail in this.
We definitely said when we started Inspired Realty & Co. that we were 5 to 7 years ahead of where the real estate curve is.
Yeah.
We do know that the things that we're implementing, the strategies that we have right now are definitely going to be emulated later by other companies, but we'll be on to something way more innovative by that time.
Carolyn Cromian shared a valuable insight on accidental investors who decide to lease out their existing homes. In episode 16, she emphasized the importance of finding a good tenant and understanding the tax implications, such as removing the homestead exemption from the leased property. It's crucial to inform the taxing authority and homeowners insurance provider about the change in property use to avoid potential penalties.
The most important thing with leasing is taking the time to find a good tenant. Right. Maybe going to a service that can do a background check or, getting to know them, talking with them, feeling if they've rented before, getting some kind of history on their renter's history, just getting to know them. Because I think that if you have a good tenant, a lease is easy. Right. If you have a terrible tenant, it's not so easy.
Right.
Right. And some of the things you're going to want to think about when you're making that transition is, number one, you can't have 2 homesteads in Texas. So wherever you live will be your homestead. And the other one, the homestead exemption will have to come off. And here's the other thing. If the taxing authority doesn't catch it right away, they can go back 3 years and assess taxes. So it's better just to be like, when the homestead exemption's not there anymore, to let them know that it's not
there right away.
So that and the taxes are going to go up most likely, but you can only have one. And if you don't do it, and don't be wrong, I guess you could get away with it for a while. And if they found out, they're going to come back and charge you at least the last 3 years of taxes. I would also if you have homeowners insurance let them know and see if they'll still cover it. Sometimes, if you had homeowners insurance as an individual, they may or may not cover a tenant, but you need to let them know.
Thank you for joining me on this 2024 recap of High-End Homes Handled Right, the Real Property Management Podcast. From new commission rules to innovative interior design service, and from challenges of accidental investors to the importance of professional marketing and cleaning, we covered a wide range of topics that are crucial for everyone involved in real estate. Here's to 2025. We look for an incredible time, with better podcasts, more information to give to you, and we're just looking forward to having you as our audience. Once again, have an incredible 2025. And I believe each one of you will be successful this year. Have a great day.